Namo Buddhaya. What do you think about this life? Is it peaceful? Too much responsibilities? Fearful? Or peaceful? Or feel relaxed? What do you think about this life? Do you experience these things always or continuously, constantly, and then and there, or not at all? Not at all means what? No stress, then no fear, no sorrow, no crying. Do you live a life like that? If you are living a life like that, it's amazing. Among the people who lived in this world, among the great people who lived in this world, the great Arahants lived with no fear, lived with free of suffering. They were happily living this life by rejoicing in others' development. They did not feel jealous on others. So the great lives of Arahants, the lives of great Arahants are amazing. We can learn a lot from Arahants. Arahants were born from the Buddha's heart. Arahants were born from the Buddha's teachings. Arahants were born from the greatest teachings taught by the Supreme Buddha, by the fearless teacher. So, today I'm hoping to share some great verses said by the Arahant. So, today I thought of reading a wonderful book. One monk says, that is Arahant Vakkali, developing the 4 establishments of mindfulness, 5 spiritual faculties, 5 spiritual powers, and 7 enlightenment factors, I live in this forest. Now, how does this monk live in this forest? How does this monk live in a forest? Developing the 4 establishments of mindfulness. That means having mindfulness towards the body, feelings, mind, and towards the Dhamma. Because it's difficult to live in a forest without practicing mindfulness. When you live in a forest, you will feel lonely, you will miss others. You will be always waiting to come to the city or to go home. But the great Arahants, until they pass away, they were living in the great forests because they practiced mindfulness. So, having mindfulness towards the body, by understanding the true nature of the body, that will help you to be detached to the body. Usually people are attached to the body. That's why people suffer, and that's why people feel very stressful. Then the great Arahants are mindful towards their feelings, even towards a pleasant feeling, even towards an unpleasant feeling, neither pleasant, neither unpleasant. At any feeling, they are neutral. When we experience pleasant feelings, we get attached, don't we? Then, when we experience unpleasant feelings, we get what? We get obsessed and we get angry. We get repelled. We get opposed. So when we experience neither pleasant, neither unpleasant, a neutral feeling, we get deluded. We live in a dream world. Do you like to live like that? Obviously no. So, let's practice mindfulness then. That is on feelings. Even the pleasant feelings, or unpleasant feelings, or neutral feelings, they are all impermanent, not under our control. We can't hold on to those things. How much we try to keep these things, keep these feelings, how much we try to maintain and to have these feelings the way we want, it will never happen. So, we are trying to expect something that will not be with us forever. So, when we have these wrong expectations, stress, sorrow, sadness will arise. Then, we should be mindful about our mind as well. We should watch this mind, because Sometimes this mind is obsessed or covered by lust, sometimes by anger, sometimes by delusion. So when the mind is covered with these unwholesome roots, then the next thing that happens is the verbal actions and the bodily actions will be corrupted, will get corrupted. And we won't be able to control our life. We won't be able to control the bodily actions, the verbal actions, and the thoughts. So even the thoughts that are generated are depending on the roots of the mind. So depending on unwholesome roots, unwholesome thoughts arise. Depending on wholesome roots, depending on wholesome thoughts, depending on wholesome roots in the mind, wholesome thoughts will arise. So see, there's a lot to do in life, not just wearing clothes, buying cars, going to work, coming back home, calling your loved ones, and buying new clothes, and then building houses. That's not the only thing we have to do in life, not just partying. There's a lot of things to do. We have to watch the body, we have to be mindful towards the feelings, mindful towards the mind. Then the real mechanism of life, the mechanism to practice patience, the mechanism of how mind works, then the reason for anger, and then there's a mechanism, there's a path that helps us to be free from anger one day. There's a path that helps us to be free from bad thoughts. So we should be always watching our mind whether we are following that path. So our great Buddha taught all these amazing things, great protection for us. That is the mindfulness towards the four things, fourfold mindfulness. So the great monks, they live in the great forests by practicing these qualities. So we might not be living in a forest, we might be living in a town or in a village or in a city among people. But then we should remember that when we mix with people that we do not like, again we suffer. That's all because of attachments. That's all because of wrong thinking. So to be free from attachments, let's practice fourfold mindfulness. May my homage be to Arahant Vakkali Maha Thera, and may my homage to my teacher Lokusami Maharsa. Nama Buddhaya, Theravada.